folks. It's time for Potato and Kev. It's with your host, Potato, somewhere around there. Co-host Kev, that's me. It's so late today, there might be various things happening in the background, but I'm just going to run the show like I normally do. I'm going to start today off with one of mine called Angry Man. Maybe I won't be so angry when it's done. Or we call that one Angry Man. What do you think, Potato? Oh, you're looking right at me today. You're not even looking at the camera. Oh, there you go. Thanks. I don't know if any of you noticed, but my granddaughter Anna did some wonderful pictures for me last night to help me with the show today. That was very nice of her. I want to talk to you guys today about something that I seem to know a lot about lately. Despair and depression. I live in it a lot. That's not to say that I don't have wonderful things in my life. I have so many people that are awesome. Not you guys and the people around me. It's just awesome. But I have such a hard time being pleasant that it really affects my ability to want to put them through me being around. Like, I went and saw one of my Jacobs yesterday, and my grandson Harvey and his wife Brianna. And I still, we're there, and I'm visiting with my grandson, and I'm still talking about what's going on with Israel and stuff. And it's just, I know that it's not always bothersome to people, but I just feel like I'm bringing something there. But what I wanted to say is that as hard of a time as I have with it, I know that it's possible to really push it away a lot. And this is the best way I can think of it is when something good is happening to us, we often reflect on it when it's over as it wasn't long enough, even if it was like hours and hours long. And then if something bad happens to us and it was only like getting burned or something, it can feel like forever, and that's our mind. Our mind is powerful enough to push us through these depressions a little bit. It's harder, it's a serious thing, and it's hard to get over. I definitely know. But we don't have to sit around and wallow in it all the time. We can feel that in our head and still, generally be pleasant. I did it every day at Walmart. While I'm thinking about what's happening in the world, I was smiling and helping customers and doing stuff, and it doesn't take it away, but you definitely feel better while it's happening. And I'm kind of hurrying through this show, and I'm probably going to touch on this again for a lot longer. I wanted to touch on something else. This idea that American citizens are supposed to have papers wherever they go, it's false. Part of our privacy is our ability to not have to identify ourselves every single time we walk. First of all, some people don't have ID. It takes some people out. Various things happen, and you won't always have your ID on you, and the idea that you have to has just never been a thing. It's this thing that's started to become what people think because there's so many videos of cops asking for ID and people giving it to them, and we've been trained to do that. But the reality is we're not obligated to do that. And if they don't suspect you of a particular crime, and that's the reality. You're supposed to be a suspect of a crime. You're not supposed to be walking down the street and they just walk up to you and say, "Who are you? Let me see your papers." That's not the way we do things in America. You're supposed to be able to travel and have an amount of privacy without unreasonable search and seizures, and making you identify yourself just because they decide they want to know who you are is not sufficient. It's not a crime to be walking down the street in most cases. I mean, obviously, if you're committing a crime, you're committing a crime, but if you're just walking down the street or hanging out the park, there's no reason the cops need to know who you are. And that's another thing. People need to start minding their own fucking business, too. A guy walking up down the street is not a reason for you to be suspicious of him. Now, if he's carrying a gun and shouting things like, "I'm about to go kill people," well, yeah, I'll give you some of that. But in open carry states, carrying a rifle down the street is not a reason for you to call the police on people. Know your state. Know if people can carry a rifle. The people who want to kill people are often not walking around advertising that they're about to go kill people, except the cops. They have guns, and you can tell when they're pretty much ready to go start doing something messed up. You can see it in their face and their actions. But just, if you're one of those people that calls the cops, take a minute and make sure you're actually calling the cops for a good reason and not just messing with somebody else's life. Because this guy that you call the cops on might just be walking down the street doing nothing. He might not have his ID, or he might not want to show his ID. But anyway, this cop ended up arresting him for resisting arrest, which is ends up being his only charge. And it's not a charge. How can you resist arrest if you're not being arrested? All right, so yeah, I'll end up getting back to this stuff sometime. I'm going to close with, I'm going to do a cover. No, I'm going to do one of mine called "I'm Doing Fine." all the lucky charms. We're getting lost cause they direct us wrong. We can't go left, no, we can't go right. Forget the parties, yeah, we're justified. And now I'm fine. Now I'm fine. Now I'm fine. Well, I'm doing fine. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Well, I'm doing fine. No more so-called funny problems. Just leave us be, yeah, we'll carry on. Although we may be, we on and on. Just trying to find a place, yeah, to get along. Now I'm fine. Now I'm fine. Now I'm fine. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Well, I'm doing fine. Well, I'm doing fine. Yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine, I call that one. So yeah, I'm sorry if I seemed a little bit authoritative on this subject, because I'm definitely not. I've been in despair and been in depression very often throughout my life, and I guess it's something that I always carry with me because it's really easy for me to fall back into that. Luckily, always through my life, I've had good people around me. I shouldn't make it seem like I just now have good people around. I've had my brother and my mother and friends and various people who've always been good, but if you've been depressed, you know it's not an easy thing to just not be. But we can make our general moments and minutes last longer just by consciously putting forth an effort to not let stuff affect us negatively so much. I'm trying hard, and this has helped, being able to talk to people and get it out verbally without typing it on Facebook. It helps. And I appreciate the fact that you guys have not convinced me not to do it anymore. Go back and forth with that. I want more people to watch it, but I'm very happy that my sister watches it and talks to me about it every day. We don't have to talk about it every day, but it's nice that she always has a comment. It's nice that some people are getting something out of it, and I'm getting that out of it. Somebody else getting something gives me something. So, and it's a nice way for me to share a couple songs and put my thoughts out there. I hope that anybody feels free to tell me what they think about what I talk about anytime. If you think I'm wrong, I definitely want to know it, and I definitely will admit it if you convince me that I'm wrong. I definitely will not mind being wrong. I'm definitely not a trained psychologist or whatever it would be, person who identifies and tells people what to do about depression and stuff, but I can just go through my experience. I'm not trying to tell you to take meds, which is what they're going to tell you, most likely. There is some medicines that you can take, but I'm not going to recommend them. Better for you to find them on your own. Medicines that don't come from Big Pharma, always check your state to make sure that the medicines you're thinking about taking are legal. And not that I'm not telling you to be a good little law-abiding citizen. I'm just trying to keep you out of jail. And with the ID thing, I certainly understand just going ahead and showing them to keep you out of jail, but we have got to still let them know that what they're doing is a violation of the Constitution and that they're scumbag human beings. Not because it's a violation of the Constitution, but because it's just a violation of our basic human rights, which, if we had human rights just by being born, we wouldn't need a piece of paper to tell us that we have them. And they prove again and again that we don't have rights. We have temporary permission. Anytime the cop is having a bad day, he can take that temporary permission away from you. And all the screaming about your lawyer and all the money you might have or who might be your friend, you'll still be in cuffs in the back of that car heading to the jail before anybody will ever give you a chance to say to get out of it. You'll be talking to a judge or a magistrate or on the phone with your lawyer from the police station. If a cop is having a bad day, there's almost nothing that can keep them from taking you to jail if that's what they want to do. They don't need anything. They don't need charges. All they need to do is get you out of the car, get you in cuffs, and get you in their car. And even if they're wrong, they don't care anymore. You can watch hundreds of videos about how they just do not care. They've been watching they've seen these videos, they know they're being recorded, and they know other people have been told they can't do that, but they are still doing it because they don't get punished for being wrong about that. Sometimes when they go way overboard and beat people or kill somebody, they can lose their job and have to move somewhere and get a job at a different police station. But they do not really get punished for just throwing innocent people in jail for a night, which could end up being a lot longer than a night and could end up ruining their lives. But they really don't get punished for that. They get a little mark on their record, but maybe. I mean, we really don't even know enough about what happens to police when they do stuff wrong. And that should be more of a thing that we know about. Maybe sometime. Any closing thoughts, Potato? What can you say that hasn't been said? You heard it here first, folks. Well, maybe not first, but you heard it here. We'll be back tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed. Yep, went over again. Can't seem to. I was trying to hurry this show and still somehow ended up going 2 minutes over. Thanks for watching. Feel free to share.